this video, I'll go through some Ansible ad hoc commands. Ad hoc commands are used to pull some quick information about the managed nodes. They are not reusable, but they provide quick information about the set of devices that we are interested in. Especially in case of network devices, they can be very helpful for troubleshooting or for doing upgrades or finding information about your network. For example, if you are planning iOS upgrades and you want to know what versions of code you are running on your network devices, then you can go ahead and run a quick Ansible ad hoc command and find information about your whole network, what version of code it is running on different devices. So this is our topology. I will run a couple of ad hoc commands to find some information and will discuss them with you while I am doing that. That will be helpful in understanding what we can use ad hoc commands for and how they are run. So let's go ahead and do some examples of ad hoc commands. Before I can run any Ansible commands, first I need to disable SSH host key checking in Ansible config file. That is to make sure I do not receive a host key message when Ansible try to log into the devices to pull the information. What I have to do is I have to go to etc ansible.cfg and I have to search for checking. There was a pound sign in front of host key checking, which I have removed. And next thing you need to be sure of is your inventory file. We built an inventory file in one of our earlier videos, so I'll just use that. So this is my inventory file. I have my routers divided into two sites, site 1 and site 2. Similarly, I have divided my switches into two sites as well, site 1 and site 2. And then I got a group for switches and another group for routers. And finally, I have a group for network. So if I want to run any command for the whole of the network, I'll just use network group. If I want to run a command on all the routers, I will use routers group. And similarly, if I want to run a command on all the switches, I'll just use switches group. Command syntax is really simple. That is Ansible. Then I need to tell which group of hosts or a single host I want to run the commands on. So I just want to run on all the network, and which module I want to use. I'll just use raw module and what parameters I want to pass. That is the command that I want to pass to each device. In this case, I am trying to find the show version, include version. So I'm just interested in the output of show version, and I'm grepping for the version of code each device is running. Then I have to tell what username and prompt for password. I give the password. On these devices I have NMS username created for this purpose. And when I press enter, I will start seeing the versions of code. Switch 2 site 1 has got 15.24055. Switch 1 site 2 has got a similar version of code because I got the same version of code for all switches and the same version of code for all routers. So one layer 3 image and a one layer 2 image. If I wanted to save this output into a text file, I could do that as well. That would be Ansible, the devices I want to run the commands on, -m, the module I want to use, -a, parameters I want to send or the commands I want to send, show version, include version, and then I can pipe the output to a text file. I will create an inventory.txt file and dump the output to that. -u nms -k, that's for password. So I will not see any output on the screen this time. If I do ls, I should see the new file. So it has created inventory file now. The same output that I saw on the screen, I can see it in the text file inventory.txt. it has just created for me. So it's a very useful ability to run a single command on multiple devices and get the output that we need. Another useful example can be finding the routing tables of our routers. Say for example, we are trying to investigating an issue and we want to know what is the routing setup on each branch router or something. I can do that. I can run Ansible command on only routers and I can say use the raw module and send the command show IP route and username NMS and prompt for password. So that should bring up the routing table of only the routers, not switches. So as you can see, I have got the routing table for R1 site 1, R2 site 1, R3 site 1, R5 site 2, and there should be R4 site 2 as well, and R4 site 2. I don't have any routing table for any switches because I didn't ask for it. And similarly, I could save the routing tables into a text file by just doing a pipe. Just do pipe to routing underscore tables.txt. And this time it will just push the output into a text file. Keep in mind, if you have the wrong password, it will not tell you the password is wrong. So I got the routing tables saved in a text file. Yeah, another use case can be if I want to know what VLANs are configured on the switches. So that would be Ansible switches, because I just want to know the VLANs on the switches. I'm not interested about the routers. -m raw -a show VLAN brief -u nms -k I have got the VLANs for all the switches. It can be useful if I am just trying to find out about a particular VLAN. Say for example, if I was only interested in finding out what VLAN I have configured on a particular switch, or if I was trying to find where a particular VLAN is configured on which switch. Say for example, if I just wanted to know where the VLAN 40 is configured, I could just kind of include 40 in that one. So let's just kind of do that. Show VLAN brief, include VLAN 40. Now I will see output from all the switches, but only one will have this output. So I know switch 2 site 1 does not have VLAN 40, switch 3 site 2 does not have VLAN 40, switch 1 site 1 does not have VLAN 40, but switch 4 site 2 has got VLAN 40. Another useful use case can be if I'm trying to find a MAC address, where that MAC address is located at the moment. I can just run the command for the whole network, specify the MAC address in the ARP table, and then Ansible will go ahead and try to find that MAC address for me. So let's try that. Ansible network -m raw -a show IP ARP include. This is an example MAC address I will be using, and I'll just say -u, that's the username, -k, that's the password. So notice this MAC address is only found in two devices, that one and that one. On switch 1 site 1 gig 00, that MAC address is directly connected and it's not learned from anywhere, it's just local address on gig 000. And on R1 site 1, this MAC address is learned on port 01 about 84 minutes ago. And if I do just include address in the command as well with the pipe sign, now it's a bit more explicit. R1 site 1 has found that MAC address 85 minutes ago on port G01. Switch 1 site 1 has got that MAC address locally found on G00, and it's not learned at all. So that's another use case for ad hoc Ansible command. So you got the idea. You can use Ansible ad hoc commands wherever you need information about your devices. What you need to know is the particular command that you want to run on those devices. Ansible won't be able to help you with finding the command itself. If you are sure what information you are looking for, you can use quick ad hoc command and just pass that command to the module raw and just pull that information. You can view that information on the screen, that's the default, or you can pipe that information into a text file. One more thing I want to quickly just add to it. Say for example, I got this inventory file and which has got all the router versions. I just want to append that file with the uptime of each router. I do not want to create a new file, and I want to make sure that this file is not overwritten. So let's do that quickly. Ansible -m raw-a show version include time. If I do 2 caret signs, then it will not overwrite this inventory file. -u nms -k. This time it will pull the information from the devices about uptime and it will append it into the inventory text file instead of creating a new text file. So you see, I have the same inventory file which has the old output and also the new output. That's another good use of Ansible ad hoc command. Yeah, one more thing, we discussed this thing when we were discussing inventory file. In all the commands that we have been doing until now, I have to specify the username on the command prompt. If I want, I can also add it to the inventory file as a variable. Like if I want to do hosts, because username is same for all the devices, I can just say network vars ansible underscore user is equal to nms. So that will tell Ansible that the username I want to use for all the devices in the group network will be nms. So I don't have to say -u all the time. So let's try the same command again. This time I don't want to pipe it into inventory.txt and I don't want to mention username. So I took the username from the host file and it has run the same command for me and showed the output on the screen. So do some practice on these ad hoc commands, and if you come across any issues, ping me a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you for viewing. Talk to you in the next video.